Okay, folks, we'll call the regular order of the Park Board to order at 6 o'clock p.m. Monday, April 20th, 2026. This time we'll have Dave Daniels lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dave. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the March 16th, 2026 Park Board meeting.
Second.
Who presented?
Oh.
I made the motion, someone presents.
Present.
Okay, there we go. We're good. I assume everyone had the opportunity to look at the minutes, and at this time, do we have any changes or comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Jennifer, were you an aye?
Aye.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion carries. President Communications. Boy, our heart goes out to everyone that's been affected by the tornado on Friday. I know one of our own, Jared and his wife Whitney, man, their house seemed like it was the poster child of tornadoes there for a while. And we're just very thankful that there are no fatalities and no injuries from that. I know there was, Kaylee had set up, or at least part of a fund, GoFundMe fund for Jared, and if anyone can donate, that would be great. I heard a lot of great things about our first responders and neighbors helping neighbors, and it was just great to see. Can you mute Jennifer? That was me. Oh, sorry. Okay. Secondly, I just want to introduce two new board members. We have Mark Sharp and Trevor Perry. So welcome. Thank you guys for applying, and I'm glad that you're going to be here to help us. So welcome. We'll move on. We have no personal appearances. Alex had commented earlier that he was not going to be here at this meeting, so we're down to the city manager and Joe Warren.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, the only thing I've got to report is obviously it's been a trying last few days. A lot of staff working a lot of hours. I'm very pleased with the way the staff has responded. Fire, police, public works. I know Parks has had some staff working extra hours as well. So everybody that's had extra hours, we're very appreciative of that. And just letting everybody know that the city's prepared to fill in any blanks that are needed at this point. For the most part, I mean. There was, we had public works crews out picking up branches and tree limbs and things like that today. Obviously, our drop-off site is open. It has been open. It was open all weekend. It'll continue to be open as long as we need to do that. And then trash debris, we don't have a solution for that yet, but we're working on one of those. So if there's extra trash and debris that needs to be picked up, and or if we need to put some roll-off dumpsters somewhere, then that's something we're prepared to do as well. So just kind of filling in the blanks there, and just thankful that the community heeded the warnings of the pending storm on Friday for the most part, and was prepared and at least looking for it, and wasn't caught off guard for the most part. And so I think that had that was a big reason why we didn't have any injuries directly related to the storm itself. So we're very lucky, fortunate, and thankful.
Joe, again, grateful for everything. I saw you guys on TV. It was great. You guys responded great and everything like that. And I don't want to bring up a negative point, and it's not about you. Mm-hmm. I had heard rumors about Hampton Inn. Did you hear those rumors? Mm-hmm. That they were charging to $500 or $600 a night that night?
Yeah, did not hear any of those rumors.
I didn't know if that had gotten across to anybody or anything like that. Basically, price gouging, raise their prices, and that's, as you might say, that's pretty unacceptable if they did that.
If they did, yeah, I don't have any confirmation that that's taking place at all, and I wouldn't expect it to have happened. So, yeah. But if it was, then yeah, I mean that would be obviously not what we're looking for as a community. But
right. So just wanted to bring that forward just in
Okay.
case. Thank you.
Be glad to look into that, but I have not heard that.
So it was a post made by somebody, and again, posts are posts, you never know what you see or what you get, but, just, you hope that's not happening. And that's, there's enough things for you to deal with and the city to deal with and not worry about somebody trying to find a place to stay and they're having to pay $500 or $600 to do that.
Yeah.
So,
As of this afternoon, all the streets are open. We got that last, I believe it was a phone line that was still down over there on Cambridge. That's been fixed, and that street's now open. There's still folks, both with the city and with private groups, that are out picking up debris and things, so.
Any questions for Joe? Thank you, Joe. Move on to director's report. Kevin?
Check your microphone.
Test.
I'm sorry. Move on to the director's report. Kevin?
All right, as you can see, the High Blue revenues are still trending up. Looks like our 90-day memberships are really trending up. We did add, at the request at the last meeting, new memberships for the month. And you'll see we have 124 new memberships, along with 60-something cancellations. So we are still trending up. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to the new members. Mark, Trevor, glad to have you here. And then I'd also like to extend a thank you to our staff. This time of year is, and then the stuff happens on Friday. It just adds more stress to this time of year. But they're always working hard. We've got something going on every weekend, 3 or 4 things sometimes. So I give a lot of kudos to our staff. And then we are looking for volunteers for the fishing derby. So May 9th, sorry. If you'd like to volunteer for the fishing derby, just reach out to myself or Joaquin, and we'll get all the information to you. And I'd also like to say, along with the Jared and Whitney, we do have some part-time staff that were affected, and Tracy is kind of going around and getting some money for them as well. So if you want to get hold of me or Tracy, we can work something out for that as well.
Great, thank you.
And then one thing that's not on here that come up was the playground grand opening, which will happen this Friday, the 24th, at 10 a.m. So if you're available to make it, please come out. We would love to have you. It's been packed, to say the least, so people are excited.
Excellent. Any questions for Kevin?
I have a question.
Yep.
Looking on the agenda, the Taste of Belton event, am I jumping ahead with that? On the agenda, it's listed for Friday, I believe, but on the agenda, it's listed for Sunday from 3 to 6, but on the website, it's listed for Friday from 6 to 8.
We'll get that fixed.
She had to change the date.
It is Sunday.
It's
So
Sunday.
we'll make sure it gets changed on the website.
Okay, okay. And I also couldn't find a place on the website to buy tickets in advance. I have to come in and do that, or is there a button to buy tickets?
That
or-
I don't know.
Okay.
what
Okay.
event is that?
The Taste of Belton event?
Okay.
I'll look into that.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Thanks, Kevin. In your packet, you'll see the aquatics. Shannon's not here, but I'm sure Kevin can answer any questions we have on the aquatics. Dave?
How are things going with lifeguards?
Good. I think we had 5 at our last training that got certified, and I think there was 9 at this last one. So it's trending up.
So we'll be ready for summer?
Yes.
Okay.
So, can you tell me a little bit about the XH2O? What is that?
That,
It's,
it's like a underwater. You should go watch it sometime. They're underwater for, I don't know, some of them 2 to 3 minutes. So, and
I
they
go
do.
there Saturday mornings and they're doing it. They're doing weights and they're underwater a lot, and I'll put it this way, it's a little crazy. But, you know, they're doing weights and things like that, swimming underwater. It's like weights underwater, and you're lifting and you're going under and doing things like that. So Jimmy Lakey is the guy in charge of it.
The one thing that caught my eye on that was the fact that we had 2 enrolled and 45 walk-ins. Is this the first time we've done that?
No, it's just, I think, the first time that she's put the numbers up
Oh, I
on the
see.
report.
So it might be common.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, a
very,
lot of
usually
walk-ins
very
for that.
busy on Saturday mornings in there.
Okay, great. Any other questions on aquatics? You have to turn your mic on.
My apologies.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. So out of curiosity, do we have any goals as far as attendance and enrollments for pool parties, swim lessons, things like that?
In the past, swim lessons, just throughout the year, it changes through the season, but I mean, typically, we just try to shoot for what we did in the past and try to get more than that, but
Okay.
try to focus on, you know, just maintaining those numbers.
Okay.
We do, I know Shannon is, you know, trying to get that out and market that more recently, so
Okay.
you'll probably be seeing that.
I think that's a good point, though. Maybe that would be helpful for us when we see the numbers on participation, like swim lesson participants. If your goal was to meet, I don't know if you had 85 this time last year, just to kind of let us know what you're hoping for, along with what is happening.
And how that's trending as well,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in the pool area swimming, and it continues to grow. It's pretty busy out there, and the pool parties and things, as the summer comes along, gets even busier. So,
Yeah, pool party, I think she actually added a time slot and kind of shortened the time between parties, just because there was a need for more parties, so.
Any other questions on aquatics? Moving on to High Blue, and that's here if you have anything you want to highlight, but I think the main thing is the new fitness equipment probably, that I think we'll be talking about later in the meeting. Any questions on the High Blue, comments? Moving on, marketing. Vanda's not here, but I'm sure Kevin can answer any questions on that. I know the Easter egg was a big success as usual. We just already talked about the Taste of Belton. The one thing I do want to highlight is the fact that the farmer's market, it's hard to believe it's that time of year already, but May 7th is the kickoff of the farmer's market. Do you happen to know, Kevin, how many, are we full on vendors or how many we have?
I don't know, I'd have to ask Kaylee that.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to ask, again, if there are planning any special events around the World Cup, anything like that in the works?
We've kind of talked about it as a staff. We're pretty busy right now, but we really have looked at, I think Joaquin and Jared have looked at some stuff to do on the rec side for some programming for that. So I could let him speak on that if he wants.
The only thing that we had discussed briefly was some watch parties with Mitchell Theater, but just in light of recent events, things that have happened to Mitchell Theater, that kind of fell through. So that's the only thing that we had been working on.
Any other questions on marketing?
I don't know if she's done.
Are you, go ahead.
I just think I know it's a busy time of year, so it feels unfair to ask to add more. I just also think that this is a really big deal that I don't want us to lose, potential opportunities from if there is something. I like the idea of a watch party. I mean, is that something that even could happen at Memorial Station? Could we put up a big screen? Like, is there... We're going to have a large influx of people here, and if we can kind of capitalize on that in some way, I think it would be helpful. And I don't know, maybe that's a city thing too, more than just Parks and Rec.
So I think we've discussed it. It just, with the licensing, I know you can do some free events and not, bypass the licensing and stuff like that. But, I mean, we really didn't budget anything for this. And, that's probably our fault for that. But I just, like I said, we can look and see if we can do something like that, kind of a pop-up type thing. But as far as to plan something, I just, we'd have to rely on the city or some other resources as well to look at doing something like that.
Can you tell me what you mean by the licensing and such? Because I don't understand.
So if you were to charge people for any event, for a FIFA event, you do have to pay for licensing, and then you have to be careful anytime you have to cover up some sort of any trademarks or anything like that, so. There's a lot of hoops to jump through.
And I think, even though it's not the parks, I'm sure that like Broken Hatchet, the Peanuts, the other place might make up for quite a bit of that, you know what I'm saying, where because they got so many TVs in there doing things.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about, just the hype and excitement around soccer
Yeah.
involved with the World Cup, maybe even at the park, have I don't know, invite the kids all out to play soccer for a day or something. That's not a FIFA specific, but just thinking about what could we connect to World Cup and the interest of people that will be here for that might encourage people to either come to Belton or think that Belton's a great place to move to or, whatever.
Joe, what sense do you get based on last city council meetings and the things that have been done, where rentals and things like that? Do you get a sense of how that might pan out, so to speak?
It's hard to say. We're kind of taking the tact of there's going to be at least 600 to 700,000 people coming to the metro area, is what they're expecting. That's going to have an impact on services for sure. And so we're trying to be very cautious to over-program when we may be trying to just, maintain the services we have at a high enough level that the residents expect and are used to. And so trying to, that's one reason we haven't gone full force into, a whole schedule of things to do surrounding. I think that a tack that might be more appropriate would be like maybe on the periphery of the events themselves, maybe, capitalizing on the increased, attention to soccer, maybe some soccer things before or after. But, during that time, it's going to be hard to gauge what kind of availability. And I just, I think that it's not unreasonable to do the same for parks, because I think that there's a possibility. I've heard of things like tent cities popping up in parks and things like that in host cities. And so just trying to be aware and ready to maintain a level of service here might be a kind of a wise thing for the city to try to do. I know that regionally they're doing some events and things, but as a smaller community, we might just want to try to maintain what we have.
That's really helpful perspective. Thank you. Yeah. But I do like the idea of maybe wrap around.
Thank you for that input, Joe. Any other questions on marketing?
I got one.
Yep. Is your mic on?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so, yeah. For Carrie Nation Days, I just found out about at the last council meeting that we were accepting proposals for the designs. I was just curious how many entries we received, or how well that went.
I do not know,
Okay.
but
Is
I
that-
will ask Kaylee.
Was that new for this year, or did we
Yeah,
do that last
yeah.
year as well? Okay.
No, that was new for this year.
I like that idea.
Do you know where she promoted that? Because the first I heard of it was on the agenda.
It was on the Carrie Nation, the Facebook,
On
on
the
the
face-
event
okay.
page.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Any other questions? Hearing none, moving on to Parks and Facilities. Nick's here to answer any questions. Anything you need to highlight, Nick?
The Arbor Day celebration this Saturday, I'd like to highlight that. That's all I need to highlight.
And what time is that, Nick? 10?
Actually got changed to 9,
9?
yes.
Can you talk about the high blue roof project?
Yes, that's, for the pool party room. The roof's over that, hopefully. And some EFIS repair, that's gonna fix most of that infiltration that leaks out in the front office area.
Oh, so that, you think that's where it's coming from? That'll fix right there by the front desk?
That's what our leak detectors determined.
What about upstairs?
Which,
Which one?
Up in the fitness room?
So that's probably a rooftop unit that when the wind blows just right, it'll come in the rooftop unit. That's not actually the roof that's leaking.
Even though when it's raining, there's buckets out?
Upstairs?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it comes inside the rooftop unit as it rains.
So the rain goes in the rooftop unit and leaks through the roof?
Yes, and I believe we did fix the one that was leaking over the treadmills.
Yeah, it's, if you're looking at the bathroom, it's to the right, back by the machine right there.
Yeah.
There's buckets. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions on Parks and Facilities?
Cleveland Lake, the restroom, is it still on schedule for end of April?
I'll talk about that later.
Oh,
Going back, are you gonna do the floor upstairs when you get the new pieces of equipment? What you gonna do?
So it'll be about timing for that. We haven't put the floor out for bid yet, so there'll be a process for that. And then the new, I would imagine it'll be too hard to coordinate getting the new equipment in and doing the floor at the same time. So we'll probably just get the new equipment in and then just move it.
So do you have to close upstairs just to do the new equipment for a day or so?
I don't know. I think they're going to try to just bring it in. Are they going to try it at night, Annette?
Yeah, it's usually an easy transition. Usually
Okay.
the ones that go out for auction leave, and then we bring in the new stuff once the ones for auction is left.
Okay, I was just trying to look at it like, well, we don't want to close for a day and a half to put new equipment in and
Yeah.
then close again to
We've
put
never had
flooring
to,
in.
yeah, we've never had to close for the new equipment. We just do it, yeah.
Any other questions for Parks and Facilities?
With the playground looking like it does, I know you haven't had the grand opening yet. Are you getting feedback on that?
Yeah, we've got some good feedback, and then we've had some feedback on stuff we need to add to it. So it's got a lot of stuff, but not everything. So, and I think one thing people didn't realize is that tree, you know, in some of the renderings and stuff, there's a tree that covers a lot of that too. So they didn't realize that there would be that much shade on the playground. So,
But that's a good thing, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Any other thing for Parks and Rec, or Parks Facilities? Moving on to Recreation. Joaquin's here to answer any questions we may have. Any questions on Recreation? I know the fishing derby's a big deal. Count me in on that. I enjoy doing that, and it's always fun to see those kids out there. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and just a reminder that the deadline to register is this Wednesday, and when I left my office, 86 out of the 100 spots were full, so it's pretty good. We're getting close, and that's the deadline to register and receive the free T-shirt is Wednesday, or until full. And like Kevin mentioned, if you would like to volunteer, just shoot me an email along with your shirt size so we can order the staff shirts.
Anything else for Recreation? Thanks, Joaquin. Moving on to Finance. Jennifer?
I hope you can hear me. We're on page 9. I did want to call out that the fiscal year 26 expenses are still clearing based on the criteria for audit. So although this says budget ended 3/31 in the actuals, there's still things that are still clearing based on when things are actually paid, invoiced, all of those type of things. So those numbers are almost final, but not quite yet. And then lastly, if we're reviewing those outdoor pool numbers, this had been brought up previously, but we still have staff that is not reflected in those numbers for the expenses. They're being, the lifeguards and stuff and staff are being rolled up under the regular pool. So Shanna is working with the city to get those people moved and transitioned. So you'll see those numbers change as well because the actual expenses are higher because of that personnel expense for the outdoor pool.
One question, sorry to interrupt, Jennifer, one question I did have, you might be able to help out with that. I'm just curious, do you, what did we do about sales tax for the 2027? Did they keep it about the same, or did we increase our portion?
That is set by Casey, but we kept it the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Any questions for Jennifer? Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Recreation did not meet. Building and grounds did not meet. Dave, personnel.
We did not meet.
Moving on to new business. What?
One thing about the standing committees, Terry and I usually put those together. But for the two new folks, if there's something here that looks like you want to be a part of, please let us know and we can try to put you in that. Obviously, since there's two new people, we're gonna have to kind of mix and jumble some things up to make it work.
Dave, I was wondering, probably what we'll do, since they're taking over for Blake and Nicholas, that maybe they will just plug in where they were. And then, but let us know how comfortable you feel with that. We'll have to get a copy and figure out who's on what committees and show it to you, and then we can always make adjustments. We're not stuck with that for another year. So if you're on one that you don't want to, you have no interest in, certainly just let us know, and we can make that adjustment. Thanks, Dave, for mentioning that. I forgot it. Moving on to new business. Motion authorizing the sale and disposition of surplus city inventory of personnel property, all in accordance with Section 2-991 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Belton, Missouri.
Second.
Present and second. Any discussion? Questions?
Hi, Nat. When's it gonna go to auction? No timeline yet?
No timeline. It just depends on when we get the new equipment. So we'll try to coordinate it together. So I think, did you say, Kevin, that we'd have to have it at auction maybe for a week or so?
Yeah, at least 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but we can
once-
determine how long it's on there.
Yeah. So once we coordinate when we're gonna get the equipment, then we'll coordinate the date
Okay,
for the auction.
thank you.
Can you remind us, for those who don't know, including me, where that auction is?
Govdeals.
Govdeals.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Govdeals.com.
.gov, isn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure it's .com.
Come in.
I think it's govdeals.gov, I think.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Jennifer, were you an aye?
That was an aye.
Okay, sorry, I gotta remember to look up at you. Motion carries. Motion approving resolution number 2026-018, a resolution approving a 3-year partnership agreement between Shields and the Belton Parks and Rec Department.
Present.
We have a present? And a second. Discussion?
I'm just curious, and it looks like we've used Shields in the past as well, and it looks like they're providing all the same benefits this year. I'm just wondering why Shields and not locally, like Academy Sports or something?
We were with Academy previously. What they offered on an annual basis was roughly 40% of what Shields offers. As well as with Academy, we were dealing with somebody at corporate in Texas. There was no in-person relationship. We have a great relationship with the manager over at Shields. So that's. That's it.
Far better store, Shields, than, okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
Is it the same terms for this 3-year contract as the last two?
Things have changed a little bit, but the overall total is roughly the same. We had some stuff that we would like to see a little bit different. They did as well. So some things were allocated a little bit differently, but it's roughly the same, just 3 years instead of 2.
So are they also identified as like the fishing tournament sponsor?
That is included in the new contract,
that's
so
the new
that's
one.
guaranteed each year, whereas in the past, that was something we would put in a request for and hope that we got it, so that's built into the new contract.
And then I believe they get a banner, and is it a banner at which location? I can't remember.
They have a banner in the High Blue Gym, they have a banner at Markey Park, they have dugout wraps on one of the fields and a scoreboard sign at Markey, and they have some TV ads at High Blue.
Are they the only company that we do that with, or are there other banners with other businesses?
There's a lot of other
Okay,
banners,
a lot of
yeah.
them. And then is it comparable in terms of the donation that they're making or what they're getting out of it? Is it comparable, or do we just work with each company individually?
Our sponsorship coordinator, Derek, he has different packages built out in his
Okay.
sponsorship packet, so
Yeah.
he'll also tailor a package to the needs of whatever business it is, so it's really just depends.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Motion approving resolution number 2026-19, a resolution approving the purchase of 15 pieces of fitness equipment from Performance Fitness Equipment in the amount of $117,175.
Present.
Second.
Discussion?
The only question I had is, it looked like on the quote, the Exhibit A, it didn't include anything about delivery and setup, whereas that was written in the agreement. So I'm just wondering if how that's clear, I guess.
So at the bottom, it does say install, yes, included. At the bottom of the quote.
This is what happens when I try to read it on my phone screen. Thank you.
Yeah, both companies will deliver it and install.
Great.
Out of curiosity, are we replacing equipment that's pretty much reached the end of its usable life cycle?
Yeah. The true equipment that you'll see on the treadmills, we've had them since 2017.
Right.
So they're time to go bye-bye. So we've had the other ones since 2020, so, yeah. It's mostly the cardio pieces will be replaced.
Is there like a running odometer on those where we could tell how many miles they went, total miles?
Not always
That'd be
accurate.
interesting to see.
Yeah, not always accurate because we replace the belts from time to time. You know, over the years, we've had to replace belts, so it's not always accurate because we might have a new belt on there. On the new belt, we don't have those miles, if that makes sense.
But it would stay on the machine, wouldn't it? Not,
Yeah, yeah.
I was just wondering.
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
interesting to see how many miles were put on a treadmill this lifetime.
It's a lot, let me tell you.
Any other questions or comments?
Is the replacement for this equipment mapped out in many years in advance, or how far, like, do you already know what you'll replace for next year? And
Yeah, I mean, we have two different leases that we've had in the past. This one's the first time we've ever done it where we're paying it outright. Was it every 2 years we kind of alternate between cardio and strength, back and forth, so. And then sometimes some machines just go out and you have to replace them, so.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Motion approving resolution number 2026-020, a resolution approving the purchase of lighting material from GSC Lighting and Supply in the amount of $35,990.
Present.
Second.
Present and second. Discussion.
Is this the pool stuff?
Yeah, so this is the indirect lighting in the pool. It's the lights that shine up. and it's kind of required to cut down on glare on the surface of the pool.
How often do we change those?
The light bulbs have been changed. We kind of converted to LED, but the fixtures, you know, that corrosive environment has just ate the fixtures all up, so it's time to just replace the whole fixture.
Gotcha.
There's lights in there that just keep flashing, blinking, so.
Give you a stroke.
Well, I think isn't there somebody upstairs that says anytime he looks at it, he thinks he's gonna have a stroke or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
not good. Not good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, items for review and discussion. Dryden Nature Reserve update. Kevin?
All right, I just want to give you a quick update. We have sent the scope of work to the architect. They'll have a proposal for us, and I'll have that, an agreement for you to sign at the next board meeting. So if you'd like to discuss or have any questions about that, feel free.
Was this designed just for the first phase, like the trails and bridge?
Yeah, it'll be probably 3,500 feet of 10-foot wide concrete trail, and then 2 pedestrian bridges. The main thing I want to focus on is connecting the existing with the new and make sure that we get that taken care of first so people can utilize the trails. And then some infrastructure. We got to get water, sewer, electrical service, some of the stuff that people aren't going to see, but we do have to get it done.
Kevin, so if you're on Cambridge and people, where are people gonna park if they wanna park up, or is this all gonna be Cleveland Lake parking?
For now, it'll all be Cleveland Lake parking, but you'll have that before you here in probably a month or so too, the parking lot extension for Cleveland.
Okay, thanks.
Any questions on that? Kevin? Number 2 is Cleveland Lake restroom update.
All right. Oh. So it looks like the restroom will be delivered May 5th. So once that's set in place, we'll get the concrete sidewalk poured around it. And then at that time, I'll be getting bids to go ahead and proceed with the asphalt parking lot. Because there'll be a little bit of a grade change, because we did have to elevate that restroom due to floodplain. So they will have to raise that parking lot up just a little bit.
How high are you talking?
Oh, I think it was about 5 or 6 inches
Oh.
from what it was. So not a lot, but
No, minimal, yeah.
yeah. But there will be, the slope will be a little different in that parking lot. And then, so the sewer line is done, has been, inspected and passed. So we're waiting on the electrical service and water. So, but all the pipes, are in the pad, ready to go. We're just waiting for the bathroom to get delivered.
Very good. Any other questions on that? Fieldhouse feasibility study. Kevin, you're up again.
Okay. As I've mentioned before, I mean, we have a need, we've identified a need internally for indoor court space. High Blue is packed. If you go in there on the weekend or at night, there's people lined up around the outside of the basketball court just waiting to play. So we are going to look at just evaluating, a site is one thing that we want to evaluate. Is another building at Wallace Park? Is that where it needs to be? Does it need to be somewhere else? Does it need to be attached to the existing facility? That's all stuff they're going to look at in the feasibility study. Our revenue streams, what that looks like. Do we have tournaments? But again, our need is internally for, our rec programs. Because as the city grows, we're noticing our numbers are starting to shoot up, and we really need to be able to supply that service to the community. And that's our main goal for the field house. So,
Would you rent it out to like volleyball tournaments and things like that?
I think we would have to as a revenue source. I mean, we don't want to do this if it can't be self-sufficient. I mean, we want to make sure it can be self-sufficient. So we want to try to find, I've kind of hinted at maybe some golf simulators, just stuff to bring people in, just keep traffic coming in that building. But one thing with the tournaments that I do want to say is like I said, our internal need is for our rec programs. So we don't want to bring tournaments in on Saturday and not have rec games. So we want to figure out, a way that we can make that work, which I think we can.
We'll totally understand taxpayers come first
Right.
in all this situation. So I want to add on to that, because you're talking about the internal struggles in the gym and things like that. Where are you at, and this is different from the field house, of the lighting on the pickleball courts so that those can start, instead of people playing inside, maybe they could play in the evenings as time goes along?
We found that they'll play outdoors if the weather is perfect. So no wind, 60 degrees. They go inside on nice, when it's nice outside. So, but yes, we are looking at lighting for the pickleball courts too. I'm looking at options right now.
Okay, thanks.
But if that field house, we would be able to also have avenues for having more indoor pickleball as well. So.
Kevin, who's doing the feasibility study?
We will probably utilize one of our on-call consultants for that.
Have you got a price for that yet?
I have not.
Okay.
Kind of trying to figure out what all we want to put in the study.
I think that was my question, just wanting to know more about how is that feasibility study conducted and like who does that go through? But it sounds like you have a separate consulting agency that does that.
Yes, yes. We definitely want to reach out to the public. I think there's a need, to rent space out, indoor field space is at a premium. So I think there's a need there. We just need to determine what that need looks like. Because I know there's a lot of travel, volleyball, people looking for practice space. So.
Well, not only that, but we're kind of at the mercy of the school too for a lot of our indoor
Yeah.
volleyball and everything else. And sometimes we have to cancel volleyball because they have a school function or they have a impromptu school function. So.
Right, and don't get me wrong, we have a great relationship with the school, allowing us to utilize their facilities, but we are starting to outgrow that, so.
Will the community have any kind of input on what to even put into the feasibility study?
They will, the consultant will reach out to the community to kind of get some feedback from them.
So do you have a timeline on that study moving forward or when that'll be done or?
It could probably go anywhere from 8 to 12 months on the feasibility study. But I'll have a better timeline when we get all that.
So just to clarify, the goal of the field house would be to augment our uncovered outdoor space, if you will, with indoor climate-controlled space. Not necessarily like an extension of the gym, but just indoor space for batting practice, soccer practice, volleyball practice, things like that.
Correct, yes, just indoor field space. And we don't know, like turf, indoor turf, is it gonna be, will we get more revenue out of, multi-use courts or turf? That's just all things that the feasibility study will tell us, how we can program that. But we do want a mixture of turf in there for, like you said, for indoor batting, indoor. Maybe we could do like indoor playground and have inflatable things put in there or something. So just try to figure every option that we can to utilize the space.
Along with the feasibility study, do you have like a successful rec center or field house that you're thinking about, like a model? Like, are there other comparables or models to?
I could look into that. I don't know if there's a lot around. I know Lee Summit's getting ready to build one, but theirs is much bigger than what we're looking at. I'm maybe looking at possibly 50,000 square feet, just enough for 3 basketball courts and then all the other buildings.
How big is Raymore's?
Oh, the rack, I'm not sure. They have, I think, two courts.
But they also have like game or meeting rooms that people can rent out and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. That's something that they'll look at in the feasibility study surrounding facilities.
Any other questions? Thank you, Kevin. Any announcements?
I do, Terry.
Yes.
Just to answer Shannon's question from earlier, I took a look and the Taste of Belton is open for registration right now on our website. It's under special events, register.beltonparks.org.
Thank you, Joaquin. Any other announcements? Make a motion to adjourn at 6:45.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?